Hey everyone, welcome to today's video, which is how to apply for an asylum if you're LGBTI. So, I have worked, you may not know, I have worked for United Nations High Commission of Refugees in the Middle East, and I have done loads of RSDs, which are Refugee Status Determination interviews. So I know the ins and outs of how to interview, how to research, and how to approve or decline a refugee status claim, and also the ones that are LGBTI. I've also worked for the Refugee Council in London, and that also deals with similar things, but on the support side. So I've worked on both, and I've worked on the governmental side, working with the Israeli government, trying to get applicants approved and stuff. So I believe that I'm kind of in the know-how of how to do this. However, now I work more so with your mind, because the way your mind is, that's how you will come across in an interview, and I prefer that it's a lot more deeper and how you can tackle it. So let's talk about what is asylum, or what is refugee, and how you can apply for it. So it's the 1951 Convention for Refugees, which is by UNHCR, which is United Nations High Commission for Refugees, and in it states that if you have a well-founded fear of persecution based upon a particular social group, which is what you can use for your sexuality, and there's loads of articles and things you can read online as well, which talks about sexuality and how you can claim. So you are part of this particular social group. To apply for asylum though, you have to leave your country where you feel that you're going to be persecuted, killed, or imprisoned, or have a very problematic time. You have to leave that country and you have to go to the next safe country. So say for example you are in Pakistan, where it's illegal to be gay, or in India, and you move over to, say for example, you come to the UK. Then when you come to the UK, you should, as soon as you enter the borders, apply for asylum there and then. A lot of people don't know this and they apply later, which doesn't matter, but if you apply there and then, it probably works out easier for you. Now, you have to prove that you have a well-founded fear of persecution. So that means that your life is going to be really, really treacherous and difficult. So if, for example, you live in India, yes, you have the Penal Code 377, Section 377, however, it's not actually applied properly. And yes, sometimes you hear things against Hijra and various communities that are kind of checked by the police, but however, a lot of the time, countries in the West, for instance, will say in India you can move to a big city like Mumbai and Delhi, and there are gay clubs and bars there, and you can live the life of your dreams. Yes. However, if you're from Pakistan, it's harder, and for Muslim countries, because obviously they use Sharia law, or they use different type of laws, which are a lot more persecutory. However, you can still have a claim if from India, say for example, if you have issues with your health, like HIV, or you come from a big city and your parents are well connected, they're part of the government or they're part of the police, and if they're found out, then they would locate you and have you executed, or housebound, or forced into a marriage with someone else. So there are ways around this. However, if you do come from an Islamic state, Islamic country, or whatever like that, then I think your chances are a bit higher, and if you are able to prove it. Now, what kind of evidence is good? So when you're doing an interview, you need to kind of think a little bit how the West sees sexuality, as opposed to how it is in your country, because the interviewers generally can be discriminatory or very biased, and they basically want to send you home. Their aim is not really, they don't really want to keep you here because of all the restrictions and the xenophobia that's going on in the West. So when you go into an interview, you don't want to just talk about sexual experiences, you want to talk about the emotions and how you feel. So your connection, say you're a gay male in Pakistan, yes, you had a sexual experience with a guy at school, however, what took you there? In your answers in the interview, give longer length answers. His eyes, his beautiful eyes, the way he smiled, gave me a feeling in my heart. And when I slept, I used to dream about him, and I felt scared because my community are against this, so I did not know what to do. Or explain cases where you were basically abused or beaten up or ridiculed, and how that could affect you and how you cannot live your life back home. So, how does the process of asylum work? Firstly, you have to go to either when you arrive in the UK or in another country at the border controls there, I'm applying for asylum, and there and then they'll take you to a room and they fill the forms in, whatnot. Or you could easily, once you're in the country, so you have to come to the safe country, and in order to do that you might be able to get an NGO to support you, or your own country NGO LGBTI somehow manage to get you abroad. And once you're abroad, or you can go to a UN or an embassy office, something like that. And once you're in the country, later on you can also, if you're detained at the detention centre, you can talk about that and say you're here for asylum. You can apply for asylum based upon your sexual orientation and gender, so please be aware of that. And also you can easily go online or go to a lawyer here and apply for asylum as well. And there's loads of support services which are for free. So you've applied for your asylum, and now what you're going to do in the meantime, whilst you're preparing, this is where the mental stuff starts coming through. What do I recommend to my applicants, to my clients? I recommend for them to visualise every day, twice a day, for 10 minutes, in the morning and evening, about the life they want to live in their new country. So in the UK, for instance, I will get them visualising the life. So the career they want, the partner they want, the relationship, the love, the finance, the friends, the family, the life, how they see themselves in the park, in the bars, in the clubs, on the street. The visualization aspect brings them in the moment as though they already have it, so they're more likely to attract it. So you just keep visualizing constantly of your British life, for instance. Also, I would get them to print out a visa, which they make themselves, just a pretend visa, and on there they write their name. You can get loads on the internet anyway, and you can just write your name on there. And sometimes I print it for them as well, and I have them put it in their pocket. So every time they take their wallet out, or every time they take their phone out, they look at this visa, and on the visa it says that they already have their UK immigration pass laws. You know, they've already got their indefinite leave to remain, and they're now a British citizen. They can also print out a passport on a piece of paper, just for their own visualization techniques, to be able to feel and think that they already have it. I'd also have them chanting every day, or telling other people as well, that you know what, my asylum's been approved, I'm a refugee in the UK now, I'm accepted, I'm here. The whole point of doing that is for them to actually think and believe that they are in the UK, that they have been approved asylum and everything's worked out. I also get them thinking about their interview, how they want their interview to go. Is their interviewer going to be male or female? Their interpreter is going to be someone who listens and says the right information, conveys the right message, and have them visualize the whole process before going there. And I get them to go in deep detail of their story, of how they're going to give the evidence and prove. If they have supporting statements from people that have known them, friends, people they haven't slept with, who've known that they are LGBTI beforehand for years and years and years in the UK or abroad, and can give testimony and sign it with a piece of paper, wonderful. If they have a partner who they're in a relationship with, wonderful. Preferably not someone they're just sleeping with, someone who found out after they applied for asylum, or people who don't know them very well, you know? Someone who can really show a deep connection with them that can really help your claim. Because you're trying to prove that you are LGBTI, that you live in the UK, you have freedom here that you don't have back at home, and you have established your LGBTI status. So you've joined loads of LGBTI groups, you visit them on Facebook, in person, in real life, you go to your local gay bars and clubs, and you know lots of gay people and got lots of gay friends, you know? And if you have come out to your family back home, and they have disowned you or given you threats, you need to inform them on that. So you need to think about, what does being gay, for example, seem like in the West, in the UK? So you've been here for a while, how do gay people interact and talk about people? So I wouldn't go on about and saying that, oh, you know, I like sex, and I like doing this with a guy, and just reduce it all to the physical, because that does not show that you are deeply connected with that aspect of yourself. So really get into details, explain it properly and understand. Also do all the visualization techniques and affirmations, and really believe that you have got it. So remaining positive and hopeful is ideal and paramount. Therefore, living on a highest vibrational disc, which is of joy, love and happiness on a regular basis, will bring that to you. act, behave and talk as though you already have the life you want. So when you come from that confident aspect of your life and confident way of thinking and walking, when you sit down in the interview, even before you've sat down, you've already summoned the universe to support you. So you're sitting down and the interviewer can feel your vibrations, your energy, that you know what, you already have that mindset that you're in the UK. So feeling guilty, feeling shameful, feeling beaten down, drawn, all these kind of things within you is not going to help your claim. Yes, when you're sitting there and you're explaining how life is back at home, then please do go into those details immensely and talk about the guilt and shame that you felt back at home, but also relay it with how wonderful your life here is and how improved it is, and that you will be executed, killed or forced into submission, marriage or whatever. You have to really, really, really research and prove to them that you have a well-founded fear of persecution. So it's not easy, but it's not hard either. A lot of people manage to get it on humanitarian grounds or asylum, refugee status. There's different elements that you can apply for. Having a very good lawyer can help. Lawyers are generally, I find to be quite rubbish, to be honest. They just don't do much work beforehand with you, and they don't prep you very well. So maybe going to the UKLGIG network, I think it's called, the immigration group, the LGBT immigration group, they're very, very good. They can help you, at least. And then there's also the Persian LGBT who are changing their name right now. There's a Naz Project. You can come to me as well. However, you know, I do ask for a donation if you have no money right now, and then later you can fund for another applicant to have their basically asylum, because if you don't contribute to your own self, you won't get the work done, because clearly you will pay for a lawyer unless you get a free one. So you need to like have that investment in yourself that you're going to do it. Yes, get your story straight and don't confuse elements in there, you know. If you had to, if you're bisexual, or you are gender fluid, sexual fluid, you know, we know these things exist. Sexual fluidity exists. You might have been straight back at home, then you became bi, and now you're gay. That is fine. I understand that. However, a lot of people who interview you in the Home Office, etc., they won't. They'll think that you're talking baloney, that you're trying to make it up so that you can live in the UK. Therefore, I would tackle that by saying things like, you know, I tried to make myself straight back at home, I was scared, and now I am basically myself, finally. It's a long process. If you get asylum like that though, I've had applicants within 2 weeks of being you know, in detention, and then worked on the techniques and managed to get it. However, we've been working for months and months beforehand. So, and then I've had clients who came to me last minute and we didn't have enough prep time, and they're reapplying now. So I would say work on your actual energy and your mind, and visualize and think the best possible outcome being in the West, in the country of your choice. Know that there are struggles of getting out of that country in the first place, so you have to have money to do that and means. And then work on your story and work on your energy and have a good system in place and people around you. Also do the research in what are the laws in your country, how could you be treated, and really have a proper case. But you know, once you, not everybody can leave. You know, some people are too poor to leave their countries, and they'll suffer, and that's very unfortunate, because the asylum system is very discriminatory and not very fair in that sense, because it expects you to leave your country. So personally, you know, if you're in danger, I would want you to leave the country, and then once out and once you're sorted with your visa and everything, I would like you to actually relay activism back to your home countries, because how are we going to ever change the laws in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and whatnot if everybody who's LGBTI leaves those countries and then comes to the West and then doesn't care about doing anything? I mean, you know, if you're in those countries and you are able to do activism, please do. Try to change it. But if you are abroad and you've managed to get safely abroad, think about those that are back home who don't have the means, and do activism to help them any way you can. And I also think those LGBTI individuals who are enjoying countless rights in the UK or in the West. They may not think so. They might be in the closet, they might be forced to marry a woman or a man, or having sham marriages and things like that. However, you are very privileged because you do have the means and the legal system around you. And I also urge you, if you are enjoying them as well, to help those back home. We need to help people back home. Not only will it help us as well, because if it's accepted in Pakistan, or Pakistani parents in the UK will be like, oh my god, in Pakistan the law says that it's okay to be gay, so we should be more tolerant here. So let's all work together, and I'm really passionate about this topic. So comment, share, like, subscribe, and do get in touch. And also read my book Bollywood Gay, because it does talk more in detail about this. And I wish you a great week. Thank you.